want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Urkakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I want to say peace, mercy, and blessings to all the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means He exists, that He is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, which means He is the deliverer. We are the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Latins, Hispanics. We're those people that make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel, the self-proclaimed white man, Europeans, Caucasians. They're actually the Edomites or Idumeans, according to the Bible. According to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it, right? And I'm just going to go over a few articles and bring out some precepts. And I pray that this be edifying. This first one is from naturalnews.com. It says sales of survival bunkers are rise following Russia's use of the Oroshenk hypersonic ballistic missile. Right, so we're only maybe 2 weeks, if not maybe a week and a half away from the year 2025. But this is going to be, this is going to become something that happens more and more. People, mainly the elites, people with any sort of class or any bit of money, they're going to seek survival bunkers, but it won't be able to help them. And the reason why they're seeking survival bunkers is to hide from the wrath of the Lamb, and the Lamb is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, we call him by the Hebrew name, or the Lashawan Kodash, the Paleo-Hebrew, the Holy Tongue, Yahweh Shai, which means He delivers. Right? It says, sales of bunkers rise following Russia's use of the Oroshenk hypersonic ballistic missiles. And also, when you go to Revelation 13, it speaks about the beast was like unto a leopard, and the feet was as the bear. That's dealing with Russia. And the symbol of Russia is the bear, symbolizing how this kingdom, is going to be destroyed or taken down. It says the first combat use of hypersonic ballistic missile by Russia sparked a surge in demand in the U.S. for nuclear survival bunkers. That's the worst place to put survival bunkers, actually, in the U.S., because this is Babylon the Great. And according to the Bible prophecy, it will be burned with fire, and it will be utterly destroyed, made desolate, and uninhabitable. It says Texas-based Atlas Survival Shelters reported a fourfold increase in sales for survival bunkers following the hypersonic missile strike, with customers on average spending about $500,000 for a bunker. The survival bunker market is projected to grow to be worth around $175 million by 2030, fueled by the fears of civil unrest and global conflict, which we're very close to that right now. Very close to civil unrest, uproars of the people, wars, rumors of wars, Since experts have warned that commercial bunkers may provide a false sense of security and can't withstand direct impacts from hypersonic missiles. So what about intercontinental ballistic missiles? So that proves everything that Esau got, set in place, set in this order. His deep underground military bases, his survival bunkers, his fallout shelters, his nuclear defense system. None of that is going to help you in the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It's only going to provide a false sense of security. And in reality, the best move that you can make is to leave this place if you're not of the elect, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushua willing. I'll be part of that number. You sheep out there, be part of that number, because if you're not, you're gonna die. Whether it be through famine, whether it be through, the Egyptian against Egyptian, the nukes is just the cherry on top. All right, but nobody that's left here is escaping that. It says FEMA has advised against bunker construction and instead sheltering in existing structures like basements. No escape. Russia's recent use of its Orange-Ring hypersonic ballistic missiles in combat against Ukraine last month has reportedly triggered a surge in demand for nuclear survival bunkers in the U.S. The missile can travel at 10 times the speed of sound and evade Western air defense systems, right? And that, you can read about this in Joel 2. This is Joel 2. It says the terrible visitation. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, right? And sound an alarm in my holy mountain. So the Most High has set up watchmen, all right, who are prophets, who are pastors, apostles, deacons, bishops, etc., to go out to the highways and hedges to make these videos to warn our people of the impending doom. Another word for doom is judgment, right? It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And each day that passes, which the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushai is already, you might as well say it's already 2025, this year flew, in which each day that passes, we get closer and closer to the return of our Lord. Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There had not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Verse 2 is dealing with the nukes, nuclear missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, different, which are also called arrows. It says there shall not be ever the like, because when Yahweh and the joint heirs, the elect 144,000, the 12, King David get back in rulership as joint heirs with Yahweh, nation is not going to learn war anymore. So it's going to be the war to end all wars. So these all the nukes that these nations possessed, they're going to be used, and the majority of them is going to be sent over here to Babylon the Great. 3, a fire devour before them, and behind them a flame burning. So pretty much describing you the nuclear missiles, because it takes a fire to propel the missile, but then when it hits on impact, it just destroys everything. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, right? Before it hits, it's like unto a paradise. If you're wicked, but as for the the hopeful elect, they're in the spirit of sighing and crying for all the abominations. The scriptures also says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So true believers are not, having a jolly good time in this place. The elect are not in the Christmas spirit, not in the spirit of New Year's. All right, more so in the spirit of in the house of mourning, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. So nothing's going to escape this, man. All right, so all these so-called celebrities, people that are up in the, Senate, politics, mayors, governors, things of that nature, people who are going to have access and money to buy these survival shelters, they're not going to escape. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run, going into the ferocity, all right, the ferociousness and the power of these nuclear missiles, man, because they're going to traverse continents, and Russia's not that far from Alaska. But even then, the Most High going to put the spirit on these nations to send those nukes, and they're going to cross the water, It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so they run. 5, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of a fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Verse 6, before their face the people shall be much pain, right? People are going to fucking die from fear, heart attacks. They're not going to know what to do, because it won't be nowhere for them to go, nowhere for them to run. no escape. And if the Most High is not with you, you're going to die in this nuclear destruction. All right, and a lot of people that are going to die in these nukes, they're going to be deceived by Esau, Edom, into taking the haragma, which is the mark, and they're going to have the mark of the beast, and they're going to get destroyed. They're going to receive it. Before that, you're going to receive a grievous sore from Revelation 16, and then you're going to drink of the wrath, which is poured out without mixture, which is that nuclear destruction. Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. When these nukes hit, they're going to eat and destroy everything, man. And they shall march, and it's going to cause a different chain of other reactions, such as volcano eruptions. When they hit, it's going to cause a great earthquake. Scripture speaks about a great earthquake. It says, and they shall not break their ranks, right? None of them are going to be, keep reading. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall act everyone in his path. There's not going to be any duds. None of them going to miss, right? And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded, going into the missile defense system of this land, big Satan, and also the Holy Land, which is Amalek is over there, little Satan, because that place going to get hit up too. They shall run to and fro in the city, and they shall climb upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows of the thief, just like the chariots is. It speaks about the chariots in Zechariah 5. They shall stay in the house of the thief. The nukes, Esau is that thief, and he stole everything from the children of Israel by the sword, which the Lord blessed them with the sword to do so. But now we're in the days where he's getting ready to be judged for his sins, his crimes. The transgressions of Babylon have reached unto heaven. The earth shall quake before them. So that's that great earthquake. It's going to be caused by these missiles. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. I'm going to go back to this article. It says Russia's recent use of its Oroshenk hypersonic ballistic missile in combat against Ukraine last month has reportedly triggered a surge in demand for nuclear survival bunkers in the U.S. The missile, which can travel at 10 times the speed of sound and evade Western air defense systems, was deployed by Russia in response to the U.S. and its allies allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles on internationally recognized Russian territory. This development has heightened concerns about nuclear threats, driving Babylonians to seek shelter options. Rob Herbert, CEO of Atlas Survival Shelters, a Texas-based survival shelter firm, stated that his company experienced a fourfold increase in inquiries and sales following the Oroshenk strike in Ukraine in November 21st. The average, working American, whether you make up to $100,000, should have maybe $250,000, $300,000 a year, cannot afford this shit. So this is just dealing with, the upper higher echelons of Americans, celebrities, things of that nature. But they're still not going to escape the wrath of the Lamb. It says Hubbard, whose company manufactures bomb-proof bunkers and nuclear fallout shelters, reported that 4 customers placed orders within 24 hours of the strike, with many other options to reinforce their existing bunkers. A customer could spend as little as $20,000 to millions of dollars, excluding installations, and the average customer spends around $500,000 for a bunker. The average American don't have that type of money. All right, never going to get that type of money. Dealing with it right now, we're experiencing inflation, and very soon it's going to lead to hyperinflation, which is going to lead to civil unrest, economic collapse, chaos, right? Which is what Esau wants, because they have a model called Ordo Abkeo. The Oroshenk strike was not the sole factor driving sales. According to Hubbard, the Wuhan 19 scam, the beginning of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine, and the Holy Land's invasion of Gaza all contributed to an uptick in demand. So people, starting to get scared, mainly these Edomites, because they see these prophecies coming to pass. You even have some jakes that sold out. It shows you on that show, American Horror Story, Apocalypse. You check this out, American Horror Story Apocalypse. In this, the just watch the first 2 episodes. The nukes hit, and they go and they hide in fallout shelters, survival bunkers, whatever you want to call it. And you see they have, different celebrities down there who are Israelites who have sold out. One I believe might have been Oprah. The other person might have been, Usher. But if you just check it out, it'll show you how these different Israelites who sold out to Esau, they think they're going to get a space in these bunkers. In most cases, they're not, It says no commercially available bunker could survive direct hit from Orange Shank. And I don't even think that has warheads in it, nuclear warheads. So it's not even an ICBM, So even a normal missile, all right, even these survival bunkers wouldn't able to survive a direct hit from a normal missile. It says while Hubbard's bunkers are marketed as capable of withstanding various disasters, and it also reminds me of the show Fallout, You can check this out. It's a good watch on, I believe it's on Amazon Prime. And then it shows you the impact of the nukes destroying wind and the mushroom cloud, and how people try to hide in these bunkers, and also, the corrupt greediness, of these of the people who are in the business of making bunkers. They allow that to happen to make money. It says while Hubbard's bunkers are marketed as capable of withstanding various disasters, including tornadoes, hurricanes, and scams, it says experts caution that no commercially available bunker could survive a direct hit from a hypersonic missile like the Orange Shank. Additionally, the missile's intermediate range ballistic missile classification limits its range to be between 3,000 and 5,500 kilometers, meaning only parts of the Babylonian west coast will be within striking distance in the event of a full-scale nuclear war with Gog and Magog, the bear. Critics argue that bunkers create a false sense of security, diverting attention from the urgent need to prevent nuclear proliferation, which that's not going to happen, because that's part of Bible prophecy, nuclear proliferation, This is Revelation 11. We'll jump down to verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. All right, because at the same time, these nukes are falling upon the earth. Is at that time the elect are going to be delivered. Because it's written in Zechariah that I will bring the third part through the fire. Right? And it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and that's the chariots, what the world will call UFOs or UAPs, unidentified flying objects, unidentified area phenomena. But those clouds are the chariots of Israel, salvation of the Israelites, right? It says, and their enemies beheld them going into the heathen nations, the Edomites, Moabites, Ishmaelites. Even 2/3 of our people are enemies. So they're going to see the elect get taken up in these clouds, delivered, beamed up, if you will. 13, and the same hour was there a great earthquake is going to be caused by the impact of these nuclear missiles. And the 10th part of the city fell, means it's going to be completely wiped off the map, man. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, complete everybody. Okay, if they aren't of the elect, and if they make it that far, because you still got, before that, you got Jacob's trouble, you got Egyptian against Egyptian, martial law, famine, pestilence, so-called natural disasters. All right, and even the chariots are going to be destroying people too. It says, and the remnant were affrighted. So it's going to be such a terrible, dreadful time that even the remnant are going to be affrighted, meaning what? Afraid, startled. It's going to be a great, great destruction.
Strong's G 1719, Imphabus.
Which means thrown into fear, terrified. Terrifying times are coming upon the earth. It says, and gave glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai of heaven. Right, Barakatah Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Verse 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. Going into what? World War III. All right? Which there's going to be more and more talks of World War III coming in the coming weeks of 2025. See, people think Trump is going to be the savior. He's going to save this place. He's going to stop the wars. He can't stop nothing. He even said it himself. There's prophets that say that the end of the world is going to happen in the Middle East. Roughly paraphrasing how he said it. But you can look up how he said it on the Joe Rogan episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. This is Revelation 6. I'm going to start at verse 12. The sixth seal terror. And I beheld, and when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, again going into the destruction that's going to be caused by these missiles. 13, and the stars of heaven fell upon the earth, and that's going into the nukes, the missiles falling upon the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So it's going to be, they're going to come in rank, all right, a lot of them, all right, like he said on 300, he sends so many arrows to block out the sun, right? Then the Spartans say, we shall fight in the shade. It says, and the stars of heaven fell upon the earth, even as the fig tree casted her untimely figs when she is shaken up a mighty wind. 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, going into the mushroom cloud. So you can understand. So when there's nukes, they're going to create, chain of chemical reactions, if you will. All right? And this is your heaven rolling together as a scroll. John revelated in the different prophets that saw these things. They described it the best way they could. 14, the heaven departed as a scroll when it's rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, because when Yahushua comes, he's coming with great wrath. That's why it says, in all tribes of the earth shall well because of him. And also it's written in Isaiah that the slain of the Lord shall be many. It says, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the face of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Right? You saw these different nations, people put their trust in man, purchase survival bunkers, not going to be able to stand. Going to be destroyed. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse, we'll start at 5. Actually, we'll start at 1. Babylon judged for sins against Israel says, Thus said Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Power, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. So that's going to come when those nukes hit from that nuclear destruction. All right, and it shows you that on that scene from Terminator 2, Judgment Day. It says, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and that's happening right now. This whole thing with the drones, that's fanning the fires of destruction with this place. Is also shedding light onto the chariots. People having questions now. But starting with apostles and elders, they've been breaking it down for years. That these so-called UFOs are in the Bible, and they refer to as clouds, chariots. A will within the will. And shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble there shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth like the archer bend his bow. All these nations are gonna, encamp round about this place and point their missiles against here, right? Because Babylon had been ham of the earth, putting sanctions on these other nations, stripping their natural resources, agitating them, getting closer and closer to that border, and they sticking their nose in their business. And against him that lifted up himself in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thirsty in her streets. 5. For Israel had not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, and it goes into the 12 tribes. Because when you go to Revelation chapter 7, there's going to be 12,000 from each tribe. So the two kingdoms are coming that were split in the time of Jeroboam and Rehoboam. They're now being made one, back into that one stick. It says, of the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. That recompense is going to be that nuclear destruction. I'm not saying that you need to, become a passport bro and try to flee, because right now where we are, there's also going to be a great deliverance. I believe it's Micah 4. This is Micah 4, verse 10. It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. All right, and all of these events that are happening, the earthquakes, the famine, the pestilence, is right here. It's an article from Zero Hedge. It says, here we go again. California declares state of emergency in response to the FLU. I'm speaking in code so they don't take the video down. Says the globalists failed at the ballot box in November, but are they preparing a scare to give the power the voters denied them? Just weeks before Trump's inauguration, Governor Gavin Newsom declaring a state of emergency in response to the FLU. So that's pestilence, right? This is from an alternative media news source called All News Pipeline. It says, heads up, list of food shortages expected in 2025 as the campaign of forced starvation continues to be waged against the Babylonian people. So that's famine. And every day there's earthquakes. And right here, wars and rumors of wars, which is why people are purchasing survival bunkers, shelters, trying to hide. you know. Micah 4, verse 8, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell even in the field. Right, and we got exile from our land, 70 AD, you know, the Titus and Vespasian, different Roman generals, million Jews fled into Africa. A lot of our people went to Rome. A lot of our people went into India, different parts of the world. We got scattered. And said, thou shalt dwell even in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, you know. And Deuteronomy 28 said, I shall bring you into Egypt again with ships, you know. It says, there thou shalt be delivered. So it's going to be a great deliverance here if you are the elect. There Yahweh Hashem Yahushua shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. That goes in with the second Exodus. This is Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 14. It says, the Most High will restore them. Therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. And this is a great story. They still make, you know, we still watch movies about it today. You know, one of the latest ones is Exodus. I believe it. That movie, Gods and Kings. You know, so they still make movies about Moses. You know, the first Exodus. You know, we still read about it. We still talk about that to this day. You know, therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So this great deliverance that's coming is going to far eclipse even the first deliverance. That's a very great deliverance. You know, the Most High used Moses and Aaron to save